Currently, there are 7.3 billion people in the world. 318.9 million live in the United States alone. A fact I came across was that 280,000 people die a year from obesity. While thousands don't come close to millions, 280,000 people is still more than the population of Wyoming. Another shocking fact is that 1 in 5 teenagers that live in the United States are obese. And with that being said, 1 in 3 children are too. Obesity has hit an all time high in every social lighting. A great example of this is that the extra weight of obesity costs airlines roughly $275 million every year. Right now, Mississippi is ranked the highest across the nation for obesity, and yet is the lowest incoming state across the nation. Well, currently Wyoming is showing as 12% of its state as obese, which isn't bad considering Mississippi is showing over 50% of its population as obese. By 2025, calculations show that only about 8% of Wyoming should be obese, which won't happen if we keep going in the direction that we're going in. People have been wondering why obesity has gone out of control. My answer for you is due to lack of exercise, food pricing, and our eating habits. Exercise is simple. 25% of children don't participate in physical free time activity, which is about roughly 1 in 4 students that don't like to go participate in gym. While some people might not find that as a problem, by the time a child goes to school for the first time is when they're going to start deciding if they like to do something as simple as exercise. More than often, not by the time kids start going to school, they've also shown that they would rather sit inside and watch TV rather than go outside and play. Studies have shown that children who prefer to watch TV rather than participate in physical activity are more likely to gain weight, which should be obvious. That if you aren't moving around, you aren't getting exercise. But a lot of people don't take that in consideration. With that being said, people don't realize all the simple exercise that we don't get anymore. For example, all the trips we take in a car under a mile, like Walmart. Walmart is half a mile away from my house, and instead of walking there like people used to, I get in a car and drive. Cars are so up to date that we as humans highly depend on them. With that as a result, we drive everywhere instead of walk, which used to be natural exercise we used to get and just don't anymore. Another way to look at how we don't get as much natural exercise is to look at the shift from physical jobs to desk jobs. We as humans spend more time sitting at desk jobs than we spend walking or standing in a day. Humans have just naturally become lazy. With that being said, being lazy isn't the only problem with not exercising. Having a proper place to exercise, like a gym, can be a struggle. Most gyms aren't fairly priced and also don't have all the security they need to have for the safety of the members. Although the gym isn't the only type of exercise people aren't getting, natural exercise can make an impact on its own. We already don't get enough of that. Ronald Sturm, a senior economist at the Rand Corporation, states that obesity isn't caused by exercise, that it is that food is too expensive. He thinks that we are getting fatter due to all the tasty temptations, which is true. Why would people spend $4 on something like fruit when a bag of potato chips contains a bigger serving size for equal or less pricing? Data shows that vegetables and fruits have come down in pricing, so that they are more comparable to things like chips. But like I previously said, people would rather get more food for their price. And another problem with food being too expensive is that fast food is cheap and convenient. So for people who work a lot, they might not go home and cook for themselves or for their family. So fast food is just the best choice for them at the time. And while food pricing is already high, it is even more of a struggle for those who don't have a large enough income to cover themselves and their children to eat. Although they do have programs like WIC and food stamps, you also have to qualify for them. Some of these qualifications include income, employment, and age. In 2012, the average benefit per person was $133.42 or $4.45 per day. So while that isn't much, if you're hungry, it's better than nothing. Studies don't know a definite answer to my question, but my question to you is food pricing that has made people become so obese, or is it the quantity that we're taking food in as? My personal opinion is that people are so obese due to their eating habits. Arthur Augustin is a cardiologist that has written a book called The South Beach Wake Up Call, which talks about diet pills and going on food diets. It also talks about all the fast food people are consuming and how it's defeating the purpose of those diets. Another thing that needs to be noted is that binge dieting and diet pills aren't an effective way to lose weight in the first place. We as Americans don't know how to consume good amounts of food. For example, your body isn't supposed to consume more than 30 grams of sugar a day. There are about 29 grams of sugar, let alone in one soda pop. Studies have shown that the average American consumes 1 to 3 sodas a day. That is roughly 90 grams of sugar in just a beverage. Another problem with how we used to consume sugar is how we prefer to take sugary junk foods over natural foods. Sturm states that yes, people could eat more fruits and vegetables, but that isn't going to change people becoming thinner. Which is true. Vegetables and fruit won't replace unhealthy choices. It will just add to how much a person consumes. As an adult, we need to be teaching kids about healthy diets because the younger kids are taught to eat healthy, the longer it will stick with them. Simple ways to get kids to eat healthier is first by taking out vending machines. Or better yet, replacing the unhealthy snacks such as Rice Krispie treats and potato chips with things like granola bars and fruits. Another great way to target younger children is to put juices and healthy sport drinks or waters in their vending machines for pop and take those out. It is important that our younger generation is taught about a healthy, nutritious lifestyle because these are the ones that are going to help decide if we can get obesity under control. Augustin states that if we don't get control of our obesity, that our health system will go bankrupt. There is more to obesity than people think. 4 out of 5 people are obese, and they end up having more than one health problem. The 3 top diseases linked to obesity is diabetes, heart disease, and high cholesterol. Major General Alan Bachelet is in charge of the U.S. Army recruiting Americans, and he thinks that in 5 years, too many Americans will be overweight and that they won't be able to recruit enough new soldiers. Obesity is becoming a national security issue. We as humans are overpopulating, and as long as we keep going the way we are going, people are going to have no use. They will be eating more than what is good for them, sticking to cheap foods that people can't even afford, and foods that are made up of sugars and being lazy. Susan Blumenthal, a clinical professor at Georgetown and Tufts University Medical Schools, states that we need safer places to exercise. Exercising can be a challenge when people don't have safe, affordable gyms. While things like gyms and healthy vending machines are things that can help out, we are going to have to come together to find a good way to direct our future into a healthier habit to start making a difference in the massive obesity epidemic.